What's going on, everybody, and welcome to our pilot episode of our new podcast, Three the Hard Way, where we'll be giving you the best, latest, and greatest sports news stemming from football, basketball, and boxing, which is our beloved favorite here. And we got me, Trying to Divine Liberty, aka B, my man Big Cool, and our trio couldn't be here tonight, but we'll have them on next week. Malachi, aka B Clap, what's going on with you, Big Cool?
I am good, man. I'm glad to be a part of the podcast. I'm a new member, but me and Twan go way back. He like one of my OGs in the boxing game, so glad to be a part of it. Look forward to building this up from the ground up and having some fun, man.
Yes, sir. With that said, let's dig right into our topics, man. I'll start off with a fight that we had over this past weekend. It was a hell of a fight between two heavyweights. A lot of gun slinging, some controversy, and what would boxing be without controversy? We had the Joseph Parker fight versus Fabricio Wardley. I think he was defending his interim title. It
Hmm.
might have been the WBO, or they were going for the interim title, which would be next to the fight Alexander Usyk, as a mandatory. With that
Yeah,
said, it ended in in probably a controversial stoppage, with Fabricio Worley getting to take TKO victory. Um, I know you didn't get to see all of it, Big Cool, but what did you think as far as what you saw with the stoppage? And let me get your thoughts on that.
I think it was a horrible stoppage. I felt like Parker was fighting back. I mean, he didn't look too hurt. He was hurt, but it wasn't to the point where you jump in and save him. Because if you want to go way back in history, arguably, I don't know if that's your opinion may differ, but definitely one of the top 25 greatest fights ever. Diego Corrales and Jose Luis Castillo. That was like this was none of that, and he didn't get, and Corrales didn't get stopped. So if you want to compare that to what we seen with, Orley and Parker, I mean, it was horrible. You know what I'm saying? Parker was fighting back. Could he have done a little more? Maybe, but as a former champion, a guy that has fought, this era's best heavyweights and Wilder, Joshua, so forth and so on. I think he deserved the benefit of the doubt to go out on his shield. And I don't think he was, too, on his rocker. And I think that the referee, kind of got a little hasty and jumped in and it was a premature stoppage in my opinion.
I'm definitely gonna agree with you there. Man, I wish you would have got to see the whole fight because it was actually back and forth, man. Fabricio might have took the early rounds, and you could go back and forth. I mean, it was a
Hmm.
lot of swing rounds early, but ultimately, even at the time of the stoppage, I had Parker up by 2 rounds. And
Yeah,
like you said, with a guy with that kind of experience, um, with his name in the game, who's never been stopped before, I don't believe. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. Like Worley wasn't landing enough to stop that. He landed a couple of good blows, but at the same time, Parker had him hurt just as bad throughout
yeah,
times in that fight. Like those guys are exchanging heavy leather. It's one of those fights to where I feel like they need to run it back. I don't want to see either one of them against Alexander Usyk at this point.
yeah,
I don't think either one of them deserve that. And we need to see a clear and victorious winner. That stoppage was unfair to me. And like I said, I think I had Parker ahead about 2 rounds at the
hmm,
time of the stoppage. One thing I can say, I didn't care for the fight to start with because I mean I saw Parker. I thought there was going to be something that happened there because I saw Parker at the weigh-in and I was like, this fool is fucking huge as hell. He
yeah,
came in at 262. And I'm like,
yeah,
if you know Parker from old, he was nimble on his toes, and I'm just like,
hmm,
this ain't Parker to me, seeing him ballooned at this weight. So I mean,
yeah,
that's the only thing that made me intrigued to watch the fight because I wasn't even planning on watching the shit. And
yeah,
like I was like, once I saw the weed, I'm like, let me see what's gonna happen because I'm like, this is gonna give Worley a chance, and so be it. It actually was the determining factor, and I think it played a huge factor in how he looked in the fight. Honestly,
yeah.
all
If I'm not mistaken, I think Joe Joyce did stop Parker. I think I'm not for sure, but we can look that up. But I want to say he did stop him when they fought a couple years ago. I could be wrong, but just to kind of maybe add that correction in there when you said about
okay,
Parker not being
yeah, you
stopped.
might
I
you might
think
be right. Yeah, you might be
Yeah,
right.
but yeah, for Parker to come in at would you say 262,
Yeah,
267? That's
262.
uncharacteristic.
Yeah, and they said he came in heavier one other time, but I'm like, he really looked like shit at the weigh-in. Like that did
Yeah,
not look
he
right.
might have thought this just was he must have thought he was gonna pull a Fury on Wilder in a different, you know what I'm saying, bully the guy or whatever he thought it was. But I mean, when you're nimble and you can actually move lateral and you know what I'm saying, you athletic enough, why add all the extra weight unless you will be going up in weight in turn? But he's a heavyweight, so it wouldn't make no sense unless he was trying to, unless he was
Yeah,
fighting a
not
guy.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
It just
not
wouldn't make no
trying to
sense for him
lose.
anyway. Like, I mean, there's really no
Yeah,
excuse because you wouldn't want to add weight to slow you down, which Wilder did. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna
yeah.
get on that,
Yeah.
but
With the Wilder fight, I could see him trying to bully, but I'm like
yeah,
that. That doesn't work for every fight. I
yeah,
want to say part of it is discipline from Parker. I don't know if that was part of Andy Lee's game plan with him. I don't know what the hell their game plan was, but um, it was one hell of a fight. I would love to see it ran back before either of them get a chance to fight Usyk. With that
yeah.
said,
But
let's go ahead, Big Cool.
now, last thing I'll say, maybe he up there in age now. He been doing this for a long time. He was like, you know what? Uh, you know what I'm saying? Or injury could have happened. So it'll be interesting to see if we get any insight on the mindset and the thinking of Andy Lee and Joseph Parker on why he weighed so much, heading into this fight. But yeah,
Definitely correct. With that said, let's go to our next topic, and we're gonna talk about the best divisions in boxing currently. I know what I think. I got probably like two that I can think of to where I'm like, this is deep as hell. But let me get your thoughts on that first, Big Cool.
I mean, I I, I want to say, like I said, excuse my, because I'm shaking off the boxing rust because life happens. But whatever division Jesse Bam Bam Rodriguez in, I mean, that's definitely a hot division. Dude is a great young fighter. I mean, who's he on a collision course with? Is a Japanese fighter, right? I
Shit,
can't.
I think he might be below a Nui. He's in a weight
Nah,
class
but
below him.
it's not a Nuya. It's not a Nuya. It's somebody else. But I think that it's definitely
Oh,
the lower weight
Nakatani,
division.
Nakatani.
Yeah, I think it's Nakatani. Yeah, I think it's Nakatani. I think that Jesse, Rodriguez is a great young fighter. His division is definitely on fire. Because really, when I look in boxing now, the upper, like the welterweight division, isn't as hot as it once was. Light heavyweight division outside of Bivol and Beer is kind of like whatever you got Benavidez there, but it's not really having no traction because they kind of waiting to fight for that trilogy, and then Benavidez still kind of stuck in neutral, trying to secure that big fight. But the junior welterweight division is very intriguing to me because you got Teofimo and you got Shakur Stevenson, and I mean you got all those guys trying to really establish themselves as the number one guy. But really, I'm gonna just say the lower weight classes. I mean, in any of them because they really fight each other. They bring the action. It's not really too much hassle to get the fights done compared to the other divisions I just mentioned. I don't know if it's just because that's just the mindset of those fighters, or it's easier to pay them, or whatever it may be, or maybe the popularity is not as much that requires crazy negotiations where a fighter will price himself out or whatever. But I think that any division below 140 is definitely exciting. I know it's like the lazy answer, but it's not me trying to be lazy. It's just kind of me getting back in the flow of things. But my
So
OG gonna guide me.
I'm definitely gonna agree with you on the 140 pound. That is one of the deepest divisions in boxing. I have my own feelings about things. As far as even with Devin Haney skipping up to 147, he didn't want no real smoke at 140. Absolute killers in the division. Absolute killers. I don't even think Teofimo wants real smoke in the division. He got his Josh Taylor fight in his lineal championship with Josh Taylor, who was washed up,
Mm,
and you
yeah,
ain't seen him do shit since other than fighting Arnold Barbosa, who's not really one of the top guys at 140 to me. But you got Richardson, you got Africa Hitchison, Africa
yeah,
Hitchens.
yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
got Subriel Matias. You got fucking
Dangerous.
Catterall. He's slick as hell. Liam Perro. You got
Yep,
my boy Gary Antoine Russell, who holds a belt now. I
yep,
mean, Albert Puello, who's obvious. I mean, he beat
yep,
fucking Antoine Russell. He
yeah,
A lot of people thought he beat Subriel Matias. I thought he did. I didn't think Matias pulled that one out. So I mean,
Yep.
he's dangerous and he's a wily veteran. 140 is
Mhm.
definitely one of the deepest divisions in boxing right now.
Mhm.
It doesn't get the credit it gets because of the guys don't have big names. They're not stars, but they are guys that will either embarrass you or put your lights out.
Yeah.
Um, it's a deep division, and you got Shakur talking about going up to 140 to fight Teofimo. Um, Shit, who else? Your boy Keyshawn Davis is moving up to 140. It's about to get better. It is going to be nothing but wars in that division. I mean, I
But
have a
but
couple of. Go ahead.
let but let me is it really gonna get better or is it just gonna get more notoriety because we see all these guys talking, but like you said, Teofimo and Shakur been talking for the last 3 or 4 months. At one point, I thought Teofimo came out and said we had the fight agreed to, or they had a verbal agreement. And I know as a experienced guy in boxing, you need pen and paper, but it just seems like there's a lot of talking, a lot of you know what I'm saying, and with like you said, with Devin Haney skipping 140, which is kind of crazy because you taking I don't want to go too crazy because the guy you fighting is dangerous, but you know what I'm saying. It's just kind of weird to kind of go at that weight and skipping some more legacy fights. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so fast, so fast.
yeah.
I definitely would have loved to see him get in at least with Africa Hitchens. That would have been a beautiful technical fight. Both of them came busted great, but they could box their ass off.
But
It would have been
I
a
think the
beautiful
Garcia
fight.
fight humbled Devin. I really do. I think it humbled Devin. Because you know he thought Garcia was easy. You know what I'm saying? And Garcia, I mean, at points it was a dominant. You know, Haney had his moments, but I think that fight kind of did something to him, and he felt like if I can't beat, you know, Garcia, then what the hell can I do with Lopez or you know Stevenson? So let me at least go cash out potentially against Norman, which
So
is a dangerous fight.
you think I don't want to say easy title strap. He going after easy straps right now because I mean 147 is weak at the moment.
But Norman is not weak though.
Oh, I'm not
Now,
gonna say that, but I mean I don't
yeah,
think he's necessarily that proven. Like he doesn't have a big name on his resume neither. A lot of
he,
people haven't seen a lot of Norman. The most
mhm,
they've seen his most recent fight against the fight in Japan where they seen him knock dude out cold, and they're going
yeah.
off of that. I've seen Norman in some stinkers as well, to where I'm like, I don't know if this is the guy at 147, and if he gets in there with Ennis while he was at 147, it's going to be a slaughter.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I agree, but I feel like obviously it's something that Team Haney identified and saw into Norman for them to make that jump. But the thing with Haney is he's tinny. You know what I'm saying? And he's chinny, and it really got exposed even more so. I know he got hurt against Linares, but he got like obviously Ryan Garcia dropped him like I don't know how many times, 3 or 4 times. And I'm just saying, you skipping from 135 to 147 against a guy, whether he's proven or not. If your chin isn't,
yeah,
yeah, if your chin is a good, who's the guy that can fight? But I always got not Amir Khan, but he was recent. Or J Rock. It was J Rock. You know what I'm saying? J Rock is a hell of a fighter. Hell of a fighter. He can't take no punch. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's kind of like as good as you are, if you can't take a punch, you might as well sit down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And
So
it'll be
that's just
interesting to see what else could happen at the division because like you said, 147's weak right now. It ain't got the limelight that it once had. But that takes me to what I think is the probably the next deepest division in boxing right now, and that's 154. Um,
yeah.
there's a lot of good names out there. You got my boy Bakram that nobody wants to fight. Virgil Ortiz. You got Boots that just moved up. You got Charlo. Still, coming out. You got Thurman in the midst. Spence gonna come back in the midst. Fendora. I mean, it's a deep ass division. Erickson Lubin and Ortiz is fighting next month. There's a lot of big fights to be made in that division, man. And to see Ennis go up there at this time where there's some real heads, people are still questioning his resume, even though he was a unified champ at 147. You can only fight who's there for you and who's willing to fight. Um, I don't think he would have got credit even if he fought Brian Norman and was a three division or a three belt champion. I don't think he would have got credit. People would still be shitting on him, in my opinion. But it's said that if Ortiz beats Lubin, him and Ortiz are going to fight early next year in 2026. But we hear that shit about everything, including Shakur and
Hmm.
Teofimo, which is one of our other topics. But yeah, that's my take. What do you think about the 154-pound division at the moment, man?
I mean, it's deep, like you said. Lubin, Ortiz, Ennis. I can't. We said Baccarat. Um, Charlo. I mean, Fundora, Thurman. I mean, there's a lot of names. I mean, I'm not gonna say the Tazoo because I mean,
Oh nah,
uh, yeah,
not now.
he threw like I mean, he just whatever. You know what I'm saying? He just you know what I'm saying. But I'm eyeing in on Ennis, man. Like I agree, he probably wouldn't have gotten the credit, but because he got so enamored with Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying? It's like, look, it's a lot of dogs out there you can fight. You know what I'm saying? And
And
I think a lot of
I
these
agree.
fighters. Go
Go ahead.
ahead. No, I was just saying, I think a lot of these fighters get so hell bent, or I don't know if it's strategic or like legit. I think he really wanted Crawford, but you get so caught up in calling one fighter that you think the fans forget all the other dogs, like you mentioned in the division. It's like, yeah, it's cool that you calling them out, but after a while, once they ain't picking up their phone to open the door, you got to start looking down the neighborhood like, okay, that's another dog right there. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of
Yeah.
like what Vladimir did. I don't want to get straight too much, even though his era was horrible. He still fought, like you said,
He fought who
who
he
was in his
yeah he
division.
top to bottom. Same thing when Charlo was
It's like
champion.
you got to do that. It's like you.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. Everybody not gonna be in the golden era. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
fight and punish everybody that's in your way, whether they in around upper one division below or one
Yeah.
division above you. You fight those guys and trust and believe the rest. You before it's all said and done, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get those one or two, three big fights, but you can't get so caught up in one name because it looked like you ducking others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that with Virgil Ortiz as well. Like, I know he had the health scare a few years ago, but it's like these two guys has kind of been going slow. You know what I'm saying? And neither one of them have really taken that next step over to superstardom. The potential, yeah, but I think Ennis got way more potential. I just see that Virgil, he's hittable. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that style lasting long. And if Ennis is who I think
Yeah.
he is, I think he should easily clear that match unless his chin is just kind of not what because he can be hit too.
I
But I think
definitely
that
agree. I definitely agree. I mean, Ortiz went down twice in his last fight, if I'm not mistaken. And I
yeah,
mean, he's not the same guy. I mean, he doesn't have power at 154. He's one more of an accumulation guy if he's going to get you out of there. And so I mean, I don't see that necessarily doing anything for Ennis, who probably could be fighting at 160. Honestly, if we're looking at him. But I saw Ortiz in his he had like a little face to face with Erickson Lubin, and he's looking big as hell, man. Like he looks bigger than 154 too, but I don't think his power is carried up from 140 and 147 when he was killing himself to make weight. I
and
don't
which is
see him doing
surprising
that.
to me though. It's surprising to me because I thought because he a young guy, I thought he would naturally grow into it. Maybe the health thing took some out, but if you could punch, you could punch. But he had a serious health scare. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I think that fight with Lubin gonna say a lot. And I hate it because I feel like Lubin really could have made a name. You know what I'm saying? Like
They
been a
put him in.
bigger,
They put him in against Charlo too early, but I mean, you got to give him his props because he took that fight early. He wanted to go after the glory, even though I don't think he was ready. He had earned his
yeah,
right to do it. But they put him in there a little bit too early. He was in a war with Fandor that I think might have shortened took some time off of him because that was a,
yeah.
a, a battle. He took some punishment in that fight.
And I ain't
Um,
gonna lie, I just knew that Fandor was gonna get fucked up in that fight. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Just off, not because I don't think Fandor a good fighter, but just at the time, like it was new seeing that. Kind of like a Paul. It wasn't new because Paul Williams kind of was like that. You know what I'm saying? But like Lubin was like a sharp shooter. He could counter, fast
yeah,
hands, very athletic. He could punch. So I just figured that he had moments. You know what I'm saying? But I feel
yeah.
like I
He put him
thought
down. He put him
yeah,
down
I
in
thought
that fight.
Lubin was gonna actually be able to. I didn't think Fedor was like that. I didn't think the nerdy, the Tower Inferno was like that. I thought that not that he couldn't fight or nothing like that. He wasn't tough, but I just thought that okay, Lubin been doing this. He learned from the Charlo fight. He got that experience. You know what I'm saying? And this is a guy he fighting that's tall, that's rangy, but he squared up a
He
little
gives up
bit.
his height. He gives up his height
Yeah,
too.
I thought he was gonna eat the body up with the uppercuts, and I mean he had his moments, but that motherfucking Fandor, he the wild card, bro. He's the wild card in the division.
Who's really the wild card? Bakram.
Oh yeah, you did say
Don't
boy.
nobody want to fight him. Don't nobody want to
Yeah,
fight him. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
he's been out of the ring for a year. Lubin was
Eh,
about to fight him, and I guess the opportunity with Ortiz came up, and he ended up
he
going to
made a
that.
good decision. He made a good
Yeah,
decision.
don't nobody want to fuck with Bakken right now after that shoe fight. I
And
don't know.
honestly, and I mean, yeah, and because he destroyed what's
Tim
Constitution
Shu,
name first?
Tim Shu.
Yeah, he slaughtered him. How many times he dropped him like 3 or 4 times? It was just a I guess that was his coming out party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I mean, but he deserved a big fight. That's the thing though. You gotta fight all these, not just stateside. You gotta fight all these guys because that's the only way you're gonna prove yourself. But him and Fedor, the X factors to me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because those are the guys gonna have to make you dig deep. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna like, damn, do I really want to do this? You remember when Marcos made down a fucked up Victor Ortiz and after the
yeah,
fight, he's like, man, I'm too young to be looking like this. That's what I'm saying. These are the type of guys that's gonna make you question your manhood. Like, is boxing really for me? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And we
yeah.
need those fights.
Check
You
your
know?
nuts. Check your nuts.
Exactly.
All right. So we kind of led in a little bit to this. I'm gonna get your opinion on this. Our next topic. Um, Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. Is it? Are we gonna see it, or is this another Teofimo cap? Because you know that's all we've been getting from Teofimo for forever. You know, he says more names and just calls everybody out, and nothing signed, nothing ever signed. What do you think about it, man?
Hey man, it's boxing. This is 2025. It's been like that for the last however many years, bro. He's still living off that win over Vasyl Lomachenko. I'm gonna say it. You know, it might be far fetched or something, but look, man. As soon Teofimo was all about fighting everybody. He fought because he proved it. He fought Vasily Lomachenko, and once he won, he switched up. I mean, rightfully so. You can switch up a little bit when you become that, but it's like, dude, you started acting like you just like you can't be negotiated with. It was the end. It's like I want 100 million, you get 5 million. You're not Floyd, you're not Oscar. You know what I'm saying? You're not none of them guys to do that, bro. And then he started having the issues, personal life. You know what I'm saying? The mental health stuff started happening. And then I think the divorce or whatever it was, had a baby. It was like, dude, look, man, either you gonna fight Shakur or you gonna shut up. Because there ain't really nobody else we want to see you fight. I mean, of course you got Matias and the other guy you said Arthur or Albert. I can't pronounce
Albert
the dude.
Puello, yeah,
Well, yeah, you got guys you want to fight, but we really want to see you fight either Tank Davis, um, Haney, or Shakur Stevenson. That's it. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're in the around your division, them the only three guys we really want to see you fight with. Like, okay, but because I believe Teofimo is a talented fighter. He got speed, he got power, he can box. When he's clicking on all cylinders like he was the first half of the Lomachenko fight and the whole fight against Josh Taylor, I mean, dude can fight. I mean, I think that's a competitive fight. I think that Shakur Stevenson still hasn't proven himself to that point to talk as much as he talked, but this man wants an opportunity, just like Lopez get wanted, and he still has yet to get their opportunity. So somebody need to get Shakur Davis the opportunity. Do I think the fight gonna happen? No, I don't. To answer your question, I don't. Because Teofimo, I don't think want it unless he comes with a lot of money. And
that's what it
Shakur Stevenson
seems
just
like.
doesn't generate that. He just doesn't
Yeah,
generate that much money.
it seems like he's trying to generate a bag. I think he's bigger shit than he really is. Like he's not a draw. I mean,
No,
that's what I think Teofimo needs to realize. Yeah, you've been lineal champ in two divisions, but like you're not the draw you think you are. You can't even sell out Madison Square Garden, and you're from New York. You couldn't sell
he
out the
was he was
small.
on that way though. He was on his
You
way,
can't. He can't even sell out the small room. Fucking Serrano and Katie Taylor sold that shit out.
but he
So
was he
that
was on his way when he was on his way with not to interrupt. He was on his way with top rank though,
yeah, I believe so. I think he might. I don't know if he's still. I think he is still signed with Top Rank if I'm not mistaken. They just been
but
limping
they
with him
not doing
since
the
they
work
got no
now.
network deal. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
they
they
ain't
ain't
got no
doing they ain't
network
doing
deal. Um,
like
I
boxing
honestly,
is
I
all
think this
messed
is.
up.
I think this is when we actually gonna get to see. You know why? Um,
Wow.
they still call them. They're still part of the new four king era. Him, Shakur, Haney, and Tank, and Ryan. You know the new kings. They're still part of that era, and they still are young enough to get that out of their system. And this will
Who's a
be
king
the
though?
this will actually be the second fight between the kings. Ryan Garcia fought Devin, and
Hmm.
we'll have Shakur versus Tiafimo. I don't think Teofimo wants to fight any of those other guys at 140 because those are the fights that take years off your career. You go in there against a Gary Antoine Russell, you know what the hell he's coming with. You go in there
I
against
mean,
Subriel Matias, you know what the hell he's coming with. Um,
but my thing is that then why fight then? Why become a boxer? You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
mean, if
and
you
and
gonna
that
fight,
makes
at
you wonder:
least it
is he really into the game right now? Like, is he all there? I
but
don't feel like
that
he's really there.
it's like bro, it's like if you're not gonna fight the big names, at least fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? As much as I would throw a fit about it, I enjoy watching Teofimo fight when when he's on. Of course, I want to see him fight the big names, but if you gonna talk shit, at least fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? You talking shit and ain't fought since I don't know when. It's like, bro, like fans are gonna forget about you if you don't fight.
Yeah, and
You
I
know what I'm
mean
saying?
that money don't stretch forever. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
you
like
got to
Shakur,
stay active.
Shakur, come on, man. Hey, I like Shakur. Stop talking about Tate. He's not gonna fight you. And now it's time for you to go fight with one of these dogs. You know what I'm saying? You fought old boy, which was a good fight. You've been calling him out, or Oscar been wanting you to fight him, and you finally fought and you dominated. But what's next? You wasting time talking back and forth with Theo, and I know he got ongoing negotiations with other fighters that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it always is when a fight is finally announced. You know what I'm saying? But like, let that fight be a build up, like the one you just had. Let's go to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It might not be a Tank, it might not be a Lopez, but Javier Martinez out there, like you said, Antoine Russell. If you think you that shit, then go prove it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And it ain't no way Tank can run from you again. I mean, or these dudes can run from you once you've proven that you can beat
Yeah,
the B level
you
fighters.
could call the shots once you go against a guy. Go against
Yeah.
the guy. With that said, we'll go into our next one. Teofimo actually pop up in this topic as well, which is crazy. There's been talks or reports from Mike Coppinger of the Ring um, that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather are in talks for a rematch to be held on Netflix.
Mhm.
Pacquiao's been linked to a lot of damn fights within the past month. Talks with Rolly Romero. Um, Also, Teofimo Lopez supposedly was on that list of next fights for him. What's your take on this, man?
Floyd being Floyd, Manny being Manny. And I'm not gonna absolve Manny because Manny he humble, but he got an ego too. We men, we all got egos. You know what I'm saying? We all crave that attention, but this is Floyd being Floyd. He know Manny want that rematch as bad as Manny want to have sex with his wife. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't blame Manny because Manny felt like he was hurt in the first fight, which was horrible. The first fight was horrible, and I mean Floyd, really just kind of just took, broke him down. You know what I'm saying? He just took everything that Manny does best and just kind of countered it, even though Manny had his moments. But if that shit was shitty then, I can't imagine what a fight between these damn near 50. Well, they 50, right? Are they both 50? Or Floyd
Yeah,
50
yeah. Floyd's older, 2 years older than Manny, so Manny's
and
like
Manny
44
Pacquiao?
right now.
Yeah, it's like, come on, bro. Like this is some fucking Sugar Ray, Leonard and Tommy Hearns type stuff. Like when
I
they fought
mean,
the,
at
the
this
third time.
stage, me and Malachi are talking about this before the show. I'm like, Malachi is a fucking diehard Manny Pacquiao fan, so he
Yeah,
always gonna speak on him.
yeah,
But we kind of agreed. I mean, at this stage, the way Floyd's looked in his exhibitions, even though they're exhibition fights against whoever, and he probably ain't been taking them serious or training. I'm like, Pacquiao might have a good chance with him at this age, but I'm like, who the fuck really wants to see it and who has a demand for it, considering how lackluster the first one was to most people. I mean, I enjoyed the fight.
yeah. It was cool. I ordered it.
I think Floyd beat him 10 times out of 10. Anytime. Even if it was
Ooh.
5 years earlier. Yeah,
Ooh, I don't know. I think Manny get him twice at least because Manny, I feel like Manny's such a great fighter, not greater than Floyd. I mean, well, that's debatable if you were talking all that, the weight division, all that's just skill for skill. But I'm giving going Floyd any day. But Manny was just so explosive and so dynamite that he good enough and just too explosive not to get Floyd at least once. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of guy going against 10 out of 10 times, you got to be. I mean, Floyd a bad motherfucker. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong.
and I mean Manny did rock him a couple times, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he rocked him then, what you think of
yeah,
possibly a younger version of a, you know what I'm saying? Because he was just too fast and awkward. But I mean, look, I don't want to see the fight, but who am I bullshit? I'm gonna watch the fight if it happened. I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah,
love Floyd, I love
yeah,
Manny. I'm gonna watch the fight. It's on Netflix. You ain't got to pay $100 for it. Why not? Ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I just say this: if they make the fight, they better stack the undercard. I'm talking about stack that motherfucker. It need to be like the Don King cards back in the day with Bernard Hopkins, with all the middleweights and all them. It
I
need to
mean,
be like that.
one fighter that would be on it is Carmel Moten, who's managed or promoted by Floyd. So I
Ain't
know
dude
you
like
would be into to
17?
see him.
He
He
like
18 now.
17?
Yeah, he
Okay,
18
18.
now. He been pro for over a year, so he of age now.
So is
Um,
he Tank Davis 2.0? Not the mentality, but just like
nah,
not the
nah,
mentality.
he ain't got the pop. That's who Floyd want him to be, but he ain't Tank. He get
But he
too
got the
he take
boxing
too.
skills though.
Yeah, yeah, I think he take too much punishment though. Like I think he get hit too much. He's too willing to engage right now. Like for his age, I think he should be sticking and moving and using his athleticism, his explosiveness while he can, getting good rounds in. He's willing to exchange a little bit too much for me, and I think that's going to be
Downfall.
yeah, I think it's going to be a detriment to him at this age. That's something Floyd need to get on him about. With that said, I guess let's get into our last boxing topic of the night. Um, what are some of your fights? Some of the fights you think you would like, or what are the fights that you most interested in seeing for the remainder of the year? And I mean, I'll go through the schedule so we can get
Okay.
them out there. I know you still been out of the loop a little bit, me too. So we getting our chops back, but we got Devin Haney versus Brian Norman coming up. We got the exhibition. I know you don't really care for too much. Jake Paul versus Tank. We got that one coming up. Let me see what else we got coming up for the rest of the year. We got, of course, Virgil Ortiz, Erickson Lubin coming up next month. Benavidez versus Anthony Yard. Nalia Nui, he fights this year. Has another fight this year. Um, Shit, who else we got coming up this year? Well, out of those fights I just named, what are some of the ones you're most interested in seeing right now?
Yard and Benavidez because Benavidez is so hittable and Yard is powerful, but his stamina and I think he got more stamina issues than he do chin issues. If I'm being honest, I thought that he handled himself well against Kovalev. Shit, when they fought back, what 3 4 years ago, might be longer than that. I think that he one of them guys that's super muscular, so and he throws every punch with bad intentions and he gasses a lot. But if his stamina is on point, and he's sharp, I think that'll be a dangerous fight for Benavidez. But I don't think he's gonna lose. But it's dangerous because Benavidez, as good as he is, I don't want to say great yet, but as good as he is, very good as he is, I think he still hit a very hittable, and I think that he's willing to go to war for really no reason. You know what I'm saying? Every fight don't got to be a war. You know what I'm saying? And against old boy the Gosovic, who was a bad man before he ran into Bear to be, he gave him some fits. You know what I'm saying? And I thought he was gonna run through him just because the long layoff and
Yeah, and I mean,
but
I think Benavidez has shown vulnerability being at 175 because I mean, even though he comfortably beat Morrell almost had him on his ass. He,
yep, yeah,
so he's shown a lot more vulnerability at 175. Um, he's there at
he
the
a
right
fucking
time
dog.
though. He's there
He a
at the right
dog
time
though.
though. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
with the aging better be is 41 right now. Bivall's up there coming off back surgery, so he's there at the right time to catch
But
these
the thing,
guys.
but the thing with Benavidez though is like, what is his legacy gonna say? And it's not because his lack of effort. He couldn't get Canelo get in the ring with him, but he got Morrell. He got Caleb Plant. But it's like this dude growing at a rapid pace. I mean, he a full grown man now, so he's not a teen, 21-year-old. What was he, a middleweight champion at the time or super middleweight when he
Super
beat
middleweight, yeah.
Gabriel, all that. So
Hmm.
but it's feel like he growing. Like still, for him to be like what 25, 26, 20, whatever he is, it's like he's just growing. Like, and I think that he won't be at 175 long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I
mean
know
they
it's crazy
ultimately
to
see him
say,
at one night. They ultimately see him being that cruiserweight, from what I've heard from his camp. They
yeah. And
ultimately
I
they.
heard, I read some where he said heavyweight one day, like maybe like 5 years from now. But
Oh wow,
it's
nah,
like
not enough
it's
pop,
like
not enough
well,
pop.
well, enough. He's 5 years from now, so I don't know what's the. We'll talk about the heavy. I guess maybe next week. But there's a heavyweight that's on the rise that people think gonna be
Moses Atama.
yeah, 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 him. Maybe that's a fight down the line. I don't know. But it's like where's Benavidez really gonna go? I feel bad for the guy because shit, it's like nobody really want to fight motherfuckers, and I see why. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's like goddamn, he kind of stuck to a rock and a hard place. Like he outgrowing these divisions so rapidly, and then when he go to if he go to cruiserweight, what the fuck he gonna do? Or
Yeah, I
refrigerate or
mean,
whatever the hell.
Jaya Patea is not going to be there
And
by the
that's a good
time he
fighter.
be that's good. Yeah, I mean, by the time he gets there, I don't think he's going to be in the division. He might be able to fight a Gilberto Ramirez, who I ain't never really thought shit of. I ain't never really
Trash.
thought shit of him. But that might be the only guy that's worth the name at 190 by the time he get there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that Benavidez fight. Of course, anytime my boy Gary Antoine Russell get in the ring, I'm watching, even though it's a no-name guy.
Yeah,
Um, I'm actually looking forward to Eubank versus Ben too. For some
yeah. I
reason,
like
I
the
don't
first one.
know
I watched the
why.
first
I don't know why.
one.
I think yeah, Eddie Hearn put the dulo on Chris Eubank Jr. That fight should not have been. He don't need to be fighting at middleweight. I think
They
he's
doing it again at middleweight.
yeah. I mean, so I don't like how he had to shrink down and all that shit. He was in the hospital after, and um, I think Connor might have a chance this time. I don't feel like I think Eubank is supposed to be fighting at 168. You know, even his dad said it. He had his concerns about it in the first match. Like, there's no way his son needs to be shrinking down to 160 at this stage of his career. And you could
Yeah.
see it was fucked up in the first fight, even though he
Why
was
would he
able
do
to
it again?
outwork again. Yeah, and it's
Why
just
would
for
he
the
do it
money,
again? At least
for the money,
164, 65.
for the money.
I
You know,
can't.
it's
I
all
ain't gonna
about
lie.
the
I can't
money.
stand Conor Ben. I can't stand Conor Ben. I don't think he's a good fighter at all. I think
Nah,
he's another Tim Tszyu. I don't think he's a good fighter at all. I think he's all mouth. I think he's living off his dad legacy. And I don't think his dad was all that. No disrespect to Nigel Ben. We know what he did to G Mac. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man. I mean he definitely his dad was a dog. I don't see that dog really in Conor. He talk about it, but like when he was telling Shakur that he would whoop, I'm like, bro, are you hearing yourself? Like, dude, you trash. But he did have his moments. He started to come on a little late in the first fight. I watched that one.
and I
But I
mean,
think
what does
if
this do?
if
What does it do for him long term? Like, is he going to be fighting at middleweight, or is he going to shrink back down to 147? Because he's not a big, tall guy.
yeah, he's
Um,
short.
yeah, like he's probably more built for 147. But once you go up in weight and put that kind of weight on,
Yeah.
coming back down, like it ain't never easy. But a
And then
couple
he was
other
out of the ring
guys,
for like 2 years, wasn't he?
yeah, because of the
Prior.
suspension.
Yeah, so it's like, dude, it's like, what are you doing with either 154 or I mean, it's like 160 ain't worth a
150,
damn. I
yeah,
mean, so
154, he gonna get killed.
yeah, and 147, I think that if Norman can prove himself, I mean, I think he'll beat him. I mean, I don't see nobody at yeah. I mean, Conor Ben just gonna be fighting. I guess him and Eubank gonna fight 2 or 3 more times and call it a career because I don't see.
Living off their daddy's name, man. But
I mean, I respect Eubank a little more though. You know what I'm saying? At least the nigga ain't got popped for no cheating, and he want to fight these. He fought some respectable guys. You know what I'm saying? So I respect him
yeah.
more. But I'm intrigued in that fight too because I want to see if Ben can be disciplined enough because it felt like in that first fight. Like I say this about Ben. He's had some sneaky explosiveness. You know what I'm saying? It kind of catches you off guard a little bit. And I seen in the first fight he caught Eubank some explosive sneaky right hands and some left hooks. So he not trash, but he not what I'm saying when he. I don't mean to disrespect him, but I don't think that he's nothing more than a C-list fighter. You know what I'm saying, or a C-level fighter. Excuse me, but I'm intrigued on that just because that's a big rivalry over there and Eubank beat him the first time. But like you said, the Russell brothers, I always enjoy, especially the one that's I don't know, they all got the fucking same name, so whatever, it ain't Gary Russell, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's just,
Little. I call him Little Russell, even though he the biggest one. And
the one they fought the
Antoine.
dude that thought he lost. He lost. He fought the dude that he got the draw or he got the win or something like that. And people thought he lost. Is
The
that the one
one
we talking
for
about?
nah, we talking about the 140 champ.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He fought the dude. You remember he fought that
And
tough. Who did he fight?
Puyo beat him.
Nah, it wasn't Puyo. It was the other guy that the Francis. What's the dude that used to have the Bartholomew? You remember he fought Bartholomew and people thought he
Oh
lost
yeah,
that fight?
Francis Bartholomew. Okay, yeah, that's him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's the
yeah. Okay,
same
yeah, I
nigga.
like him. I like him. I think with him though, I want to see him use a little something, a little finesse. I think sometimes he be trying to, he kind of make himself a little more hittable. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of, he can punch, but he ain't no. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
feel
and I
like
mean
he can
he
make.
showed. I think he showed levels against was I want to say Jose Valenzuela. That was who he won the title from. Everybody
Okay,
thought
okay.
Valenzuela was going to outbox him, and he outboxed the shit out of Valenzuela. Like he blanked him. He blanked
I'm
him.
gonna go watch that fight. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
watch that
I
fight.
mean he blanked him. Everybody thought Valenzuela was going to outbox him, and he's like, "I'm gonna
Yeah,
show you." He didn't go for the knockout. He schooled the fuck out of him. December 6th, we
yeah.
got the fight card of the year for me. Lamont Roach versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz. We got Janabek versus Erzlandi Lara for unification, and Oshaki Foster versus Scooter. That's the best card of the year for me, top to bottom.
Scooter,
All of
Scooter,
three,
who's?
four, three. Stephen Fulton.
Oh, okay, okay. That's his nickname. I thought it was something else.
Cool.
Ooh,
They
that's
call
an
him Cool
interesting
Boy, but
fight.
yeah, Cool Boy. They call him
Yeah,
Cool
okay.
Boy, but Scooter is real shit. Um,
That's an interesting fight.
best
That's a
card
good
of the
fight
year.
card.
Best card of the year.
Wow. And Fulton moving up, right?
Yeah, yeah, they're fighting at. Well, he's already at 130. Well, yeah, he's moving up for 130. He's still. I don't know if he dropped the 126 belt that he won, but he's there. They're fighting at 130.
That's a ooh, that's a good fight. Cause
And I
O'Shakir,
mean,
Foster, he ain't no joke.
Janabek ain't got no big scalps on his resume at 160. Even though Lara's old as hell. Good ass
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
I think Lara still got some dog in him to beat Janabek. In my
I
opinion.
don't know, man. I think the leg, if the legs ain't gone, then I think he should win. Cause Jennerbag ain't been looking good.
Yeah, and
His last, yeah.
Janabek's not a pressure fighter. So I mean, that's the shit that's given Lara trouble in the past with pressure fighters.
So,
Janabek
and
ain't that.
my question is, why did people think that Andre? I know I'm wrong, but why did people think Andre was ducking Jennerbag? Cause shit, he ain't been that impressive for real. Like since he had that, whatever, since that whole thing. Like, I mean, you've been more in the loop than I have, but has he been impressive to you?
No, not really. I
So I
mean,
don't.
I mean, everybody's going off of his most impressive victory was against a no chin Hassan Endam, who got knocked out in the fucking Olympics as a pro. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. So it's like, I guess
come
because they
come
thought he was. I guess because he was from Kazakhstan, like
Yeah, yeah, you know
Govlakin,
the whole
Golovkin.
The Eastern European
Yeah,
bloc thing. You know they still showing love to all those guys like they're the dominant forces and all the bots, and they got a couple of champions, but we know who still run this shit. You know,
I'm
so
pulling. Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course we do. I'm pulling for Lamont Rose, man. I ain't even trying to. I like Pitbull too, but I feel like Lamont Rose you got robbed against Davis, and I hate. You know what? The one thing I hate. I hate to see a fighter get wronged of a decision, robbed of a decision, and then go to drop the next fight just because, not because I want them to win or whatever. I feel like at least let them have a marquee victory when they clearly deserve. You know what I'm saying?
this is a
So when
bad
you,
fight for him. I mean,
it is,
I love it, but it's him jumping to 140. Like if I was him and I didn't get that tank rematch, I'm taking my ass back to 130 where I got a belt. And like I said, Oshaki Foster and Steve Fulton are fighting at 130. Like he has some smoke at 130. Like I'm staying at 130 if I'm him. He's not a big 140 pounder. Neither is Pitbull Cruz. Neither one of those guys need to be fighting at 140 in my opinion. But
but the
I
thing
think
is,
it's
I
a
think
bad
that
fight.
it might be, but I think Pitbull has lost that mystique about him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he ran through Rolly Romero and whoever else he did, but I think that he gave Tank a tough fight, but that wear and tear, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that
Yeah,
his
yeah,
fight
you can't
style
keep
isn't
that up.
suited.
Yeah,
And I think a boxer like that, I can see Roach just turning them, just not even doing nothing crazy. Jabbing, throwing off a two, three punch combination, spinning them,
yeah,
keeping them
yeah.
off balance and then just offsetting them with the jab to the head, to the sternum, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of do a subtle movement to where it just has him thinking, because if you know, Pitbull, he walks, he leans like over his front foot, you know what I'm saying? He just guides in, and I mean, no, I don't think that. I think Lamont Roach and his team identified something in prior fights and seen that, okay, he's aging a little bit, and I just don't think that Pitbull, this is as dangerous of a fight for Lamont Roach as it would have been maybe 2 3 years ago, which I would have picked Pitbull to just walk through him, because I seen Lamont Roach. Who was there when he fought on ESPN? Was it? My guy, former U.S. Olympian. I mean, Shakur beat him up. Interviewed the dude.
Jamel, not Jamel Herring, is it?
Yeah, Heron. Yeah, Heron barely beat him, or he beat him. So it's like, you know what I'm saying. So, but I think that this is a good matchup
I just
for
hate
Roach
seeing
too.
them. I mean, the jump from 130 to 140 within one fight. Um,
Yeah,
I just don't like that move. I don't like it when, like I said, there's still a lot of good big heads at 130. Ultimately at 140, he doesn't match up well against the rest of those guys.
yeah, no,
Um,
no, no.
so
I
I'm
think he
just like,
knows
why?
that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, so why would you put him up there against Pitbull? I guess maybe just because a Pitbull's a small 140, and there might be something there to exploit, like
I
you
mean, it's a
said.
name.
But
I mean, it's a
that
name that
too,
boosted, and it is
yeah,
also the Tank Davis angle. I'm gonna beat him worse than you did. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
if that rematch, you know, they got some talking points to sell. You know, because I think that rematch is got to happen. Tank can't retire without fighting Lamont
I
because he
mean,
looked bad in that fight.
supposedly the contract was signed. I've seen
Yeah,
talks to where Roach's team was talking about suing Tank for breach of contract because they had one signed for the rematch
yeah,
already. I
yeah.
mean, to me, that would be the worst mistake he could ever do. You don't need to give Tank, a guy that's unmotivated, any kind of motivation. You take
No,
his
fuck
ass,
Tank,
yeah,
fuck Tank,
you
fuck
put
Tank.
his ass back in court. You gonna definitely motivate him. So
Hey, we'll motivate him then. Hey, we'll motivate him then. Hey, motivate Tank. Somebody need to motivate him because he ain't. But Tank, man, come on, bro. As much as they be pulling Tank's card. He ain't, if you ain't motivated to shut up these guys to become like the greatest fighter of this era, like then what motive? Because a motherfucker
yeah,
suing
I
you?
mean, but I've talked to guys from that region. You know,
Yeah,
they was like, they knew this about Tank all along. Like he always wanted what came with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he came up around Floyd and Brown. He's like, I want what those guys got. He didn't necessarily want to be a legacy guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Hall of Fame wasn't something that was ever on his mind.
but
He
why do
just
he go
wanted
back
to
and
make it.
forth with these guys though? Like, why do you go back and forth? Like him and Shakur still going back and forth. Why? If you don't want to be okay, I'm just for the money. I don't know if you watched the Pivot podcast, but Channing Crowder, love Channing. He said, I play for the money. I respect it. And he don't say nothing else about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you fight for the money, don't go back and forth. But you know money, fighting those guys bring more money. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
And
it's
like
one
with
of those
his
things with Tank could call shots, and I think that's one of the things that is fucked up about him. Like he's like a pro Jake Paul. Like he could
yeah.
literally call shots. He can call his
Well,
own shots. He doesn't have to fight anybody, and people will still come out to see him. Like he's a spectacle.
and it's a
You know,
damn shame because the dude is a good fighter.
he's talented. Yeah, he's talented as
He's a
hell.
good
But he's
fighter.
not. I don't think legacy is something that's not something that I think he ever really wanted. From the people I talk to, I got my guys that are heavy in the camps out there on the East Coast between Philly and VA DC area.
Hmm.
They was like, yeah, Tank never really aspired for that. He was just trying to get money and better his life type of shit. Um,
So is he
so
done after this Jake Paul fight?
um, I think it's a huge possibility. Yeah, I don't think there's enough anybody out there he could get motivated for.
Not Shakur? Not niggas that caught, not Ryan. I mean, not Devin.
Um, I mean, you got to know Devin's not even possible now. Um, I don't think
I mean, but
Teofimo.
Shakur right there.
Yeah,
Shakur is
but
right there.
yeah, and yeah. I mean, that might be the only fight, but I'm just like,
But
you
not
gotta have.
even, but not even Lamont Roach. I know Roach. You said Lamont Roach, like nigga last name Roach, but this nigga,
I think he should.
majority of people think
I
you've lost.
Yeah, I think for Roach, I think he should be able to get up for that, considering the way he looked. But I don't think we see him versus Shakur, especially if Shakur and Teofimo goes down. Shakur ain't coming back down for Tank. Tank ain't going to 140. So I don't really, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't even hang my hat on that shit anymore. As much as I hate to say it, I don't hang my hat on it anymore. Um,
Well,
yeah,
hey man. Well, hey, much love, Tank. Do what you got to do, best for you, and we'll see. I'm gonna check out the Jake Paul fight. And at least one thing he better do handle his business for professional boxing. If not, he definitely better retire and move out of Baltimore.
definitely hold it down. That definitely hold it down
Yeah.
for the boxers, man. But with that said, that was our last topic for tonight. I hope you enjoyed our pilot episode. We'll be coming at you once a week on Tuesdays. And we got a whole lot more good to come for y'all. So thank you for joining. And it's just the first of many.
Yes, sir. See y'all next week.
All right.